What's going on, Dub Nation? You're watching Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Tyler Smith, and the score you see on the bottom of your screen was not indicative of the result that happened in Game 6 between the Warriors and the Rockets. Yes, Golden State loses by 8, but they gave this game away in the fourth quarter. Steve Kerr mentioned it. Draymond Green mentioned it, both in post-game media availabilities, that following the third quarter, where Golden State won by 3, and they were down 5 at the break, and then ended up being down 2 heading into the fourth. The first play of the fourth quarter. 6 seconds in, I remember the clock being stopped at 11:54 left. Fred VanVleet knocks down a 3, gets fouled. 4-point play. And it never really felt like Golden State was in a position to win this game for the entire fourth quarter. It was kind of agonizing to watch. Turnovers were rampant, as they have been in every Warriors loss of this series. And Golden State couldn't knock down shots down the stretch to keep themselves in this game and avoid a Game 7. But now we have a Game 7. As many people's favorite words in sports, Game 7, well, it's not when your team is playing. Listen, man, the Rockets punked them again. They come out, and to be fair, they shoot a blazing 12 of 30 from three-point range, but Golden State ends up hitting more threes in this game. How does the result end in the way that it does? Well, pretty simple. Warriors have 16 turnovers. The Rockets, they have 11. The Rockets rack up 19 second chance points. The Warriors rack up 12. So you can see just already the differences are being made for Golden State. 18 to 22 from the line for the Dubs tonight. They got there, but the Rockets shot 46 free throws, and they made 33 of them. So there's your difference right there. And to be fair, Golden State was hacking Steven Adams down the stretch and just trying to get the clock stopped and all that good stuff. But, man, they didn't come to play today. And Kerr was talking about it in the media postgame. I'm kind of just trying to get all my thoughts out here. Not going to be a crazy structured video because I got to get my thoughts out there. We play Game 7 on Sunday. Not happy about that. And, just kind of watching the post-game media comments from everybody. I'm checking in with what's going on Twitter and stuff like that, things that are coming out. And Steve Kerr talked about it. He didn't say it was fatigue. I mean, you just come out and you can't hit shots. And really what it's boiled down to for Golden State in these losses is their inability to score for really long stretches. Anthony Slater said this on Golden State's fourth quarter tonight. He said the Warriors missed 16 of the first 18 fourth quarter shots tonight. Defense has been an increasing issue in the series. You allow 115 tonight to the Rockets, including quarters of 28, 33, and 29. Not great. But Golden State, the reason that they've lost control of the series, per Slater, is because of their inability to score for extended stretches. And that's a problem. That's a huge problem. Steph and Jimmy were honestly cooking in that first half. I actually want to see what the rest of the Warriors had because I have it here on my monitor. First half stats, and Jimmy had he was in double digits, and then Steph he had what did he have at the break? 16. I think Jimmy had 12. Jimmy had 12, 4, and 4 at the break. Steph has 16 and 5 boards, and then you don't really get all that much from them once it's all said and done. Jimmy finishes with I believe 27. So, yeah, he doubled up. He did his thing. Curry finishes with 29. So, he has 13 in the second half. But, man, outside of them, not much support from the rest of the Warriors. Moses Moody was really attacking tonight and fearless and quick-triggered with the basketball. The green light must have been on for Moses Moody and from the coaching staff. But he ends up shooting, not great from the field. 5 of 13. Not ideal. Pod shoots a 4 for 9. It just, Golden State didn't hit jump shots tonight. Even when Steph would get wide open in the corner, they just weren't knocking them down. Buddy Hield had a couple of wide open looks. Couldn't hit him. Pods had a couple of wide open looks. Didn't hit him. Just wasn't going. The shots just weren't falling for the Dubs today, and that's unfortunate. Feel like they took this game a little bit for granted in a sense because the Rockets, they were not keen on their season ending today. They clearly wanted this for all 48 minutes, and it's clear that Golden State just didn't want it as bad as Houston did. Draymond kind of talked about that in the post game. It's gotta be more engaged. And Draymond is a player who I think has to be more engaged for Golden State. the turnovers, the lazy passes. There isn't a lot of zip on the basketball, especially when he tries to throw it from the top of the key to somebody who might be open on the low block or something like that, or somebody who's cutting baseline. A lot of these passes, a lot of air underneath them, and it's really becoming an issue. I want to see how many times the Warriors turned it over. I mean, there's been games in this series that the Golden State has lost where they have turned it over 17, 18, 19, 20 times. They turn over 16 times again today. In the games they've won, I think they're averaging 10 turnovers a game, Steve Kerr said. He said that the Warriors are very, very rushed right now, that they're trying to get into things too quickly. And the Rockets, to be fair, they're speeding them up. Like they're putting the defensive pressure and the energy. They're bringing it. But Golden State is rushing. It's not great. It's insane. Oh, also, Draymond, he got he hit a flagrant foul in this game tonight. He's got 2 in the playoffs now, and now that becomes a point. 4 flagrant fouls in the playoffs triggers a 1-game suspension. So Draymond's got to clean it up. He has just got to clean it up. Steph went on a personal 11-0 run in the second quarter that got this game tied, and then it might have even taken the lead. I think it was just tied though. But then the Rockets have a little 7-0 spurt to close the half, and then Jimmy ends up hitting that and one jumper. Who, by the way, Jimmy Butler was hitting some unreal difficult shots tonight. Like, you would have thought that with the way that he was getting a bounce, Golden State was destined to win this game. Rockets wanted it more. VanVleet wanted it more. He's 17-25 on his last 3 games shooting from beyond the arc. That just can't happen. That just can't happen. So before we get into some more, detailed player evaluations of Game 6 and look ahead to what they need to provide in Game 7, who do you got in Game 7? It's do or die. I am so nervous. I'm so nervous, you guys. Give me a GSW if you're rocking with the Dubs. Give me a HOU if you're rocking with the Rockets. It's totally 50-50. I think the Rockets opened up as a 2.5-point favorite in this game as the home team. Golden State's got to overcome traveling to Houston and playing another game on these veterans' legs. More tread on their tires. They could not close it out at home. Let's talk about Steph. I want to see how many turnovers he actually had. It was a few, as it's been the case for most of the playoffs. Yeah, another 5 turnover night for Steph. He hasn't responded to double teams super well. And let's be fair, like, he's made an equal number of plays where he splits the defense and gets to the rim or finds a pocket in the defense and he rises up and shoot a 3. But wasn't efficient tonight. I mean, 6-16 from 3 isn't the worst, but wasn't efficient. And when those double teams came, like, he had 5 turnovers to 2 assists. That just can't happen. A lot of the times, it's been live ball turnovers too with Steph. It's crazy. He seems a little bit tired. Maybe the thumb is bothering him a little bit and just throwing him a teeny bit off of his game to where he's more susceptible to these types of turnovers. But they got to be limited in Game 7, man. You know Houston's going to throw the kitchen sink at him defensively. Jimmy, thought he did everything he could. I thought he did everything he could. He only had 1 turnover, and you know how often the ball's in his hands. He did everything he could. Like, I didn't expect Jimmy Butler to kind of fall flat in a game where you can close out a series and you're trying to avoid going on the road to a Game 7. So, he showed up. Going to need more in Game 7. Going to need a similar stat line, maybe even more. 27, 9, and 8, and Golden State couldn't get it done. That's brutal. Draymond, I mean, the Rockets just wanted Draymond to shoot as many threes as he possibly could. They weren't even respecting him out there, and he got the message pretty quick in this ball game that wasn't going to be a threat or a factor much. He did have 7 assists. He was doing his thing, but another 4 turnover game from Draymond. Not great. Not great. Gonna need to step it up. Steve Kerr did go with a new starting 5 tonight. Buddy Hield was included. Buddy Hield didn't score. Buddy Hield was 0-4 from the field and 0-4 from 3. You brought Buddy Hield in the starting lineup. From Anthony Slater, what he said on Twitter, he said that when they wanted to get Şengün into more screen actions with Steph, and they made the switch last game to sub out Moody for Hield because they would just stick Şengün on Moody, and he would be a non-factor. He's not really a Steph screener. So they subbed Hield, who's a movement shooter, who's going to be running around the perimeter a little bit more and get Şengün in more rotations and switches. And then they just started putting him on Pods, who's not a screener much for Steph, either on the ball. So they decided to make a switch and put Hield and GP2 in the starting lineup tonight, and they combined for 5 points. I mean, and to be fair, is Gary Payton being inserted into the starting five to, be a scoring jump or a scoring boost? No, it's not the decision that Steve Kerr made. But a 104 from three. Nobody could shoot for Golden State tonight, and that's going to need to change. The two youngsters who did, like I mentioned before, come off of the bench tonight. Pods was fine. I didn't think he was too bad. He's crashing the glass. Just not scoring enough. If you're called upon, I know you're coming off the bench tonight, but if you're called upon as Golden State's third scorer, especially off on the ball, gotta have more than 10 in a very, very high stakes playoff game. Moses Moody, he was solid. I liked what I saw from Moody tonight. I'm not gonna stress too much over it. Quinn Post is the worst defending big man in the league, quite frankly. And that's not a huge knock because he has been really good offensively for Golden State, but he had 5 fouls tonight. And, a lot of them were just ball fake. Nope, he's up in the air. I'm going to draw the contact. She's become a more disciplined defender in that area, and I think he will have a very, very promising career with Golden State. Don't get me wrong. Just really needs to work on the defense. Şengün continues to be a problem. 21-14 for Golden State. He's a problem. I'm going to see spin moves in the paint to try to get a post hookup in my bed, in my nightmares. That's what I'm going to be seeing tonight. I'm pissed. You get a bad game from Jalen Green, too. You get a bad Jalen Green game. 3 of 11 for the field. 1 of 6 from deep. You get a bad Jalen Green game and you lose. Not good. Because VanVleet, nuclear. Like I said, he's 17 of 25 on his last 25 three-pointer attempted. I can't even speak because it's making me sick. How about you guard the damn guy? How about you guard him? He's been unconscious and you're letting him do it. Letting him do it. What is this? This is 2015. Steven Adams, 17 points, 8 rebounds. Sorry, only 5. Only 5. The Warriors have it. He's 4 for 4 from the field, so, yes, he hit 9 free throws tonight. The Warriors playing Haka Adams down the stretch of the game, but still, man. Brutal. Tari Eason played really well to start the game. Didn't take a shot, really, for the rest of it. Kind of wild. Jabari Smith did his thing. The only person who you kind of really limited tonight was Dylan Brooks and Jalen Green, I guess. But, Şengün and VanVleet combined for 50. You're going to lose. It's unfortunate, man. Golden State needs to get their heads out of their rear ends, to be quite honest with you. Out of the players we talked about on today's show, however, Steve Kerr did mention, and for those of you who are still with us, Steve Kerr did mention that Jonathan Kuminga returning to the Warriors lineup is 100% on the table. He said everything is on the table for Game 7. And with that being said, who needs to step up the most for Golden State in Game 7 to secure a win and move on to Round 2 of the 2025 NBA playoffs? You let me know down in the comments section who that has to be. If it's Kuminga, Kuminga stands, go crazy in the comments and say that Steve Kerr needs to play him in Game 7. Let me know who needs to step up the most. And make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We just passed 90,000 subs at Warriors today. Clap it up for you guys. Showing love to the channel. The watch parties have been awesome. And I want you to be a part of it. So make sure you are subscribed. Lock us in. Turn your notifications on for Game 7 stream. I didn't want to say that. I didn't want that to ever be the case. But we will be live on Sunday for Warriors Rockets Game 7. We'll see you guys all there. Subscribe to the channel. See you then. As always, let's go Dubs. Please.